she was the last pharaoh of Egypt. A woman who defied empires, commanded armies, and shaped the fate of nations with her brilliance and charm. For over 2,000 years, her story has fascinated the world. A tale of love, power, betrayal, and legacy. This is the incredible life of Cleopatra VII, the Queen of the Nile. Welcome to Infonation Channel, where we bring history's most legendary figures to life. In today's episode, we explore Cleopatra, a woman remembered not only for her beauty, but for her political genius, courage, and enduring impact. From her rise to the throne, her alliances with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, to her tragic end, Cleopatra's life is a story that still echoes across centuries. Cleopatra VII Philopator was born in 69 BC in the magnificent city of Alexandria, founded by Alexander the Great. She belonged to the Ptolemaic dynasty, a Greek royal family that had ruled Egypt for nearly 300 years. Unlike her predecessors, Cleopatra immersed herself in Egyptian culture. She was the first of her dynasty to learn the Egyptian language, alongside Greek and several others. Historians say she may have spoken up to 9 languages fluently. She was intelligent, ambitious, and politically aware from a young age. But life in the royal palace was never simple. The Ptolemaic court was a dangerous place, filled with betrayal, sibling rivalries, and shifting alliances. Cleopatra's father, Ptolemy XII, was a weak and unpopular ruler. When he died, Cleopatra, at just 18 years old, was crowned queen alongside her younger brother Ptolemy XIII, who was only 10. At first, Cleopatra ruled as co-regent with her brother. But tensions soon erupted. Court advisors favored the young boy, and Cleopatra found herself pushed out of power. Exiled from Alexandria, she refused to surrender. Instead, Cleopatra built her own army and plotted her return. It was during this turbulent time that a powerful figure entered her life. Julius Caesar, the most influential man in Rome. According to legend, Cleopatra had herself smuggled into Caesar's chambers, rolled inside a carpet. When the carpet was unfurled, the great Roman general found himself face to face with the young queen. Whether or not the story is true, what followed was undeniable. A political and romantic alliance that would restore Cleopatra's throne and secure Egypt's independence, at least for a time. Caesar defeated Ptolemy XIII's forces, and Cleopatra was restored as queen. Soon after, she gave birth to a son, Caesarion, who many believed was Caesar's child. Together, they traveled the Nile, presenting themselves as a divine couple. Cleopatra dressed as the goddess Isis, Caesar as Osiris. For Cleopatra, this was not just love but strategy. By aligning with Rome's most powerful man, she secured her throne and elevated her status. But Rome was not kind to Caesar's Egyptian queen. Many in the Senate despised her influence. After Caesar's assassination in 44 BC, Cleopatra's position was once again at risk. Alone with her young son, she faced a dangerous world. Yet Cleopatra was not done shaping history. Another Roman leader would soon enter her life, Mark Antony. In 41 BC, Cleopatra met Mark Antony, one of Rome's most powerful generals. Their meeting became legendary. She sailed up the river on a golden barge, dressed as the goddess Aphrodite, surrounded by dancers, music, and incense. Antony, captivated, was drawn into her world of luxury and power. The two became allies, lovers, and eventually partners in both war and politics. Cleopatra bore him 3 children, and together they dreamed of a new empire, one that could rival Rome itself. But this ambition alarmed Rome, especially Octavian, the future Augustus Caesar. He painted Cleopatra as a foreign seductress corrupting a Roman general, and war became inevitable. In 31 BC, Antony and Cleopatra faced Octavian's forces at the Battle of Actium. Their fleet was crushed and their hopes for a new empire shattered. Defeated, they fled to Egypt. Surrounded and facing certain capture, Antony took his own life. Heartbroken and unwilling to be paraded as a trophy in Rome, Cleopatra made her final choice. In 30 BC, at the age of 39, she ended her life. Legend says with the bite of a poisonous asp. Cleopatra's death marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the beginning of Roman rule in Egypt. Yet her legend lived on. Writers like Plutarch and Shakespeare portrayed her as a woman of irresistible beauty, while modern historians emphasize her intelligence, political skill, and leadership. Cleopatra has been reimagined countless times in art, literature, and cinema, from Elizabeth Taylor's iconic portrayal to new archaeological discoveries that still keep her story alive today. She remains one of the most famous women in history, not just because of whom she loved, but because of how she ruled. Cleopatra was a queen who dared to challenge the greatest empire on earth. And though she lost, her name still endures, shining brighter than most of her conquerors. And that was the story of Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt. A woman of ambition, brilliance, and tragedy. Her life reminds us that history is not only written by victors, but by those who dared to dream beyond their time. What do you think was Cleopatra's greatest strength? Her intelligence, her political strategy, or her ability to form alliances? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more incredible stories from history's most fascinating lives.